paper in a book and write down exactly how I felt at that point because I was down and out. I had a lot of debt. I'd come home like 2 weeks before and the bank had stuck notices on my garage door and my front gate that the house was going to be sold on an auction 2 weeks time. So I had to work myself out of this, but the first thing I could change was the way I think. So what he made me do is he made me write down everything that I felt at that point with as much emotion and pain as possible for me to refer to future because to me now, there's no ways I want to go back to that because that pain is so real for me. I can open that book. I can read the pain. Memories there, fresh. I don't want to go there again. I don't want to do that again. So I do really something, everything I can to avoid more pain like that. And you pivot from that. So it's either, so we pivot to avoid pain. Some people accept pain, but as part of their reality, and that's really unfortunate. That's why things like poverty perpetuate in the world, because you just don't know a better way. You grow up in an alcoholic home, and you think alcoholism is the norm. You grow up in a home with this substance addiction or poor financial management or large, too much debt. And I just think that's the way we live. That's the way mommy and daddy did it, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. There's no better life. So the combination of pain and seeing that there is a better life is what it normally takes for people to change. And then to make a conscious decision towards adopting that change, finding people that are achieving the results that they want to, and doing what those people did.
So earlier on, I said you're reminding me of something because there's a chapter in my book that talks about you're either running away from something or running towards something. What are you chasing and what is chasing you? So as you speak, it sounded like you're running away from that pain.
Initially. But if you're just running away from pain, in order to not get pain, then you would just do enough to get out of the pain.
Correct.
But you have to run away and run to walk.
Right. So you want something.
Correct.
Yeah. Chasing something while distancing yourself from something else.
Correct.
I grew up in the township. I not want to be in the township. No, I would definitely. And I want a better life. I want to be able to sit with guys like you, have these kinds of conversations. Are you alluding to that?
Correct. So it's about seeing, knowing that you've been through this pain, making it very real for yourself and saying that I'm not going to go there again. And then finding people where things are different and emulating that and measuring yourself on a constant basis and then setting new goals. Because one thing I learned in my years of bodybuilding is this power. I was in one of the talks I did many years ago, I said we all have this built-in success mechanism in our subconscious brains. So our brains don't have the difference is when we meditate in a certain state of mind, our brains don't have the difference to know what is real and what is suggested. Okay. Because if we get ourselves into a certain mind space and set goals, and we see our goals as real. So I know one of the things that make me tick and help me to achieve a lot is I love cars. So one of the things, I mean, it's balanced to my life. I don't just have cars, but I do like cars. And whenever I've wanted a nice car, what I've been able to do along the ways, I get the picture of that car and I look at it every day and I visualize it. And I see myself as having it.
Yeah.
So we have this ability to see yourself being successful, being the different you, being the you that you want to be. And when we achieve that, and we set the real goal and we believe we can achieve our goals, it's amazing how the universe starts working. People call it the universe working for you, but to me, it's that success mechanism.
That scripture that says, talks about the things that you imagine eventually. I think it's Ephesians 3:20.
Yes.
That when God is able to do exceedingly more abundantly above what you can think or imagine. Correct. So that was you imagining the car. And it begs the question, what was the first car that you imagined you really wanted that drove you to work and you eventually got?
So I think we were very first. When I always used to drive very mediocre cars when it started out, and then I wanted decent European car. My first decent car was an Audi A4. Remember when that just came into South Africa?
Yeah.
It was a 2.8 V6.
What year was this?
Sure. It was my son, 1996.
1996, or 18 years ago.
No, 28 years ago. 8 years.
Yeah.
No, that's the first. So that's the first time I bought myself a really nice car. From then I had a whole lot of Audis. I had Pajeros. I had Range Rovers, Land Rover Discoveries. I've been driving Mercs for a number of years. A passion for AMGs.
Yeah. Is it because you love the thrill of just driving a fast car, or that comes from the fact that you know that to get it, there must be a certain level of work you must do to produce that kind of result?
It is definitely so. But when you're driving it, you're not thinking about the work that you did. You're thinking about the way, or you're feeling the way that the car makes you feel. So I think you could do it for the wrong reasons. You can do it because you want to be present. To me, it's like I don't judge other people by what they drive, but I judge myself by what I drive. It's small, but the budget with because I know I've set very real goals of what I want to do, and minimum norms for my success.
Can I ask you something then?
Yes.
So I've heard Tony Robbins talk about setting standards, right? And he make an example that if you are taking care of your mom and your standard is no matter what happens, I take care of my mom. Even on months where finances are not coming in, you always find a way to take care of your mother because it's your standard. Like, could we explain it the same way that because you had set a standard for yourself that you drive certain cars,
Yes.
no matter whoever, you were a lion that couldn't eat grass no matter what the economy of the jungle.
I wouldn't say that because it's got to come with common sense as well. So if you set goals and you consciously set goals and you go about being aligned and living your life in alignment and having planning and a strategy in place, it's not just about the car. It's about certain other norms that need to be in place before you can afford the car. And one of those things is that you go at a position of passive income. Because if you're living a life and you're buying these lovely cars, going on these overseas holidays, having the most expensive watches and jewelry, cell phones, and you're doing it out to earn money, you're setting yourself up like a hamster on the treadmill, just going to keep on running around every month. But the goal is to get to an asset base that can generate more passive wealth. And through passive income, you can lead a good lifestyle.
So let me then ask. So was it a situation of, let's give an example. I want a Ferrari, right? And then you ask yourself, Ferrari might cost me maybe 100,000 rands a month. You're like, okay, what asset base can I create